Carter just broke her silence on the Caitlin Clark incident, and what she said might actually make things worse for her career. She's calling that aggressive hip check a nice little tap and saying it's part of basketball. When every WNBA team passes on signing a talented scorer like Carter, it's like watching a player ignore warning flags on the court. This video explores how a pattern of behavior can derail promising careers. From locker room altercations to social media feuds, Carter's explanation in this new interview is missing something crucial. Her version of events doesn't match what we all saw happen on that court.
Nothing actually illegal has taken place to my knowledge involving Chennedy Carter. Yeah, that was a really ugly foul, and I understand it was bordering on what looked like assault. We all remember the vicious hip check. I also will not forget Angel Reese jumping up off the bench.
It was a highly anticipated game between the Indiana Fever and the Chicago Sky. Tensions were high and fans were locked in from the tip-off. In the midst of the action, Chennedy Carter delivered a vicious, unprovoked elbow check to Caitlin Clark, catching everyone by surprise. The moment went viral, sparking outrage across social media and the sports world.
Good. Chennedy Carter now with 12 points off the bench. And Clark.
It wasn't just the hit that shocked fans, it was the silence afterward. Carter didn't apologize, didn't explain, and showed no remorse on or off the court. That moment ended up having serious consequences. The league took notice, and so did team executives. The incident painted Carter in a negative light, and in a league where chemistry and image matter, her reputation took a hit. Since then, teams have been hesitant to bring her onto a roster.
And I am shocked that, for example, the expansion team, the Valkyries haven't signed her, the Las Vegas Aces. I mean, hell, I look at the Chicago Sky and wonder, what? Connecticut Sun would be another one? There are teams right now that are very devoid of offensive talent, and she's one of them, right?
So Chennedy Carter finally broke her silence about that Caitlin Clark push, and her explanation might actually make your jaw drop. In a recent interview, Carter tried to downplay what millions of basketball fans witnessed with their own eyes. She's claiming it was just a little tap that happened in the heat of competition. But let's be real here. The footage tells a completely different story.
Do you watch every game, every single game, to see if you can find any deflects in my game? And like, there's really nothing that you probably could say too much about. So then you have trolls, and that's what I said. They're gonna be around regardless. But yeah, it was just like a nice little like tap. Like, I'm here, not to like harm you or anything.
This is a lie because the cameras captured the entire sequence. Carter deliberately approached Clark when the ball wasn't even in play. There was no basketball reason for this confrontation. First, Carter called Clark a betch, her words clearly visible on camera, then delivered what was unmistakably a hard, intentional shove. Clark wasn't even looking at Carter when she approached, leaving the rookie completely blindsided by both the verbal attack and the physical contact. Clark's genuine shock afterward revealed everything. This wasn't normal basketball interaction, even at the professional level.
What warranted the shove over while the ball wasn't even in play? Like, yeah, you get back in her face and talk trash, but don't like just go over there and bowl her over and the ball not even in play. That's two different things right there. Like, yeah, if you get hit in the face, that happens. All right, that happens in basketball. You can get hit in the face, hit in the head. You can get hit anywhere during a basketball move or play, right? But the fact that you had a dead ball going on and you went over there, you called her a B and then bowled her over. Yeah, that's a little different.
Carter's interview explanation contradicts the visual evidence everyone witnessed. She frames the incident as having fun on the court and claims she pushed Clark a little because Clark was complaining. But the footage shows a deliberate, aggressive push following a verbal insult. Nothing playful or spontaneous about it.
You know, if you want to push somebody, you're gonna like full force. Like
people really made it like a crazy big deal. I've seen the clip.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not crazy deep in the WNBA world. But in the WNBA world, they dragged it like crazy.
I mean, that happens, man. Like, it's one of those things. I'm a great player. She's a great player. It looks a certain way. Everybody's gonna have their views on it. But my personal view is, you know, I don't have anything against her. She's a great player, and so am I. And I've got buckets all that season. You know what I'm saying? So, just one of those.
Carter attempts to characterize this as typical talking smack that happens regularly in basketball. However, competitive trash talk during active play differs dramatically from approaching someone when play is stopped, insulting them, and physically shoving them. The first represents basketball's competitive spirit. The second crosses into unprofessional conduct the league cannot tolerate.
That's a little different than somebody talking trash in your face. Just because you might see other players do it, and they give an excuse of why they did it. In the NBA,
This distinction is crucial because women's basketball is fighting for respect. The WNBA is experiencing unprecedented growth, with viewership skyrocketing as new fans tune in. Many are watching because of players like Clark who are bringing excitement to the league. Carter's behavior damages the image of a league working diligently to build legitimacy.
just be a good sportsman and play within the game. That's all. Bust your opponent, but within the game. Don't get the physical punching and bowing. I can't stand a dirty player.
The consequences have been significant. Despite her scoring talent, no WNBA team has signed Carter since her release from the Sky. Teams see a player who crossed a line and refuses accountability. Instead of acknowledging the inappropriate nature of her actions, she's minimizing what happened, essentially gaslighting fans who saw the incident themselves.
So just give her like a little, like, I'm here. Like, you know, I don't think it was, you know what's crazy? Me and my brother went back and watched, and we seen a lot of clips in the NBA of guys getting like pushing LeBron. Like, I think it was Jeff Teague or somebody who like pushed LeBron out of bounds, like said, man, I was mad because like we couldn't stop him. So I'm just like, it's like one of those things, like it happens in basketball. I know people try to say, oh, it's not one of those things.
It's not a personal thing, it's a competitive thing.
It happens in basketball, and like it's just one of those things. But like, yeah, it's kind of what happened, and then it spiraled out of control.
And then the media takes whatever narrative they want.
This disconnect between Carter's version and the visible evidence explains why WNBA front offices are keeping their distance. Teams are questioning whether they want a player who can't acknowledge clear wrongdoing or who views an unprovoked confrontation as simply a little tap. The answer so far has been no.
That I don't think the Caitlin Clark moment is the reason she's not in the WNBA. I do remember a moment. It was like tweeting.
While teams are keeping their distance because of that on-court incident, what's happening on Carter's phone screen might be even more damaging to her career prospects. Her digital footprint reveals a pattern of behavior that has general managers thinking twice about bringing her into their locker rooms.
And basically, ESPN had her as the 25th player in the league or something like that. And I think Angel was up like the number 12. She was up high. And basically, Chennedy had a problem not with the Angel restatement, but she was talking about the point guard.
Remember that ESPN ranking that had Angel Reese placed higher than Carter? Most players would use that as motivation in the gym, maybe put it on their vision board, or simply let their game do the talking, not Carter. She immediately took to social media to express her frustration, showing everyone exactly how she handles perceived slights by making them public and personal. Carter turned a standard sports media evaluation into evidence of disrespect. Her reaction revealed something troubling to WNBA executives, a player who struggles with jealousy and can't process professional assessments without taking them personally.
She was like, how my stats are top 5 or top 10, something like that, but y'all had me ranked at 25.
While established WNBA stars like Aja Wilson and Brianna Stewart post about team goals, community work, or share training highlights, Carter was caught up in rankings drama. When fighting for a roster spot in the most competitive women's basketball league in the world, her focus seemed misplaced.
And then I think a tweet that was kind of related to that came out, and they were like, look, the reason the Sky are looking like they can make the playoffs is because of Chennedy, Carter, and the refs. That's what somebody tweeted, and she ended up liking that post. That could be tied into the fact that it might be a little chaos or drama being created within the organization.
The rankings reaction was just the beginning. There was a post suggesting Carter was saving her team, and she liked it. A professional basketball player publicly endorsed content implying her teammates weren't pulling their weight while she carried them. Imagine being in that locker room after seeing your teammate essentially throw you under the bus online. Basketball is the ultimate team sport, and front offices seek players who lift others up, not those who position themselves as lone saviors of underperforming groups.
Her liking that tweet, she didn't go to the game. She didn't play in the game, right? Now, I don't know. They did show hospital pictures and things like that, but yeah, man, a lot of people felt like that was a scapegoat. A lot of people felt like, oh, she kept saying she had COVID.
This digital behavior sent a clear message to general managers. Carter appeared more focused on personal recognition than team success. In a league where building a championship culture is everything, that me-first mindset raises concerns. While respected veterans might briefly acknowledge rankings, they quickly shift the focus to team goals, knowing that personal accolades follow collective wins. Today's WNBA is bigger than just basketball, and with record viewership and growing sponsor interest, players are public figures representing entire franchises. Every post, like, and comment shapes their professional brand. So when GMs see Carter using social media to vent frustration instead of promote positivity, it raises red flags. They begin to question her ability to put the team first, stay professional under
Chennedy Carter just broke her silence about that viral shove on Caitlin Clark, and somehow she made everything worse. In a recent interview, Carter tried to downplay the whole incident, calling it just a nice little tap. She claimed it was part of basketball and insisted it wasn't personal. But here's the problem. Millions watched the clip, and her version doesn't match what we all saw. The ball wasn't even in play. Carter walks up to Clark, calls her a B word, then delivers a full-body check. Clark wasn't even looking. That's not a tap. That's not just basketball. That's a deliberate act. What made it worse? Carter didn't apologize. No explanation, no accountability, just silence. And now, months later, when she does speak, she's minimizing it, basically gaslighting fans. And let's be honest, this isn't just about one shove. This is a pattern. Carter's career has been haunted by drama, locker room blow-ups, public spats, and now, social media mess. When ESPN ranked her lower than Angel Reese instead of letting her game speak, she jumped online to vent. She even liked tweets suggesting her teammates were dragging the team down while she carried them. That's not leadership. That's ego. WNBA teams are watching all of this. They see the talent, but they also see the risk. While the league is surging in popularity, building a bigger audience thanks to stars like Clark, GMs don't want players bringing drama into the locker room or stirring chaos on Twitter. And despite her scoring ability, Carter remains unsigned. Not because of a single foul, but because she refuses to take responsibility for it. Because every chance she gets to grow from the moment, she shrinks it instead. Women's basketball is growing fast. This league is about culture, unity, image, and, most importantly, accountability. And right now, Chennedy Carter is proving she's not ready for any of that.